So welcome everybody for our last session. I also see that we've got people joining us in the room but while traveling around as well, so that's great, Sana. And, it's been a very busy week and a very productive week, and I'm excited to have got through it, but also been inspired by all the wonderful presentation progress that everybody's been making this week. So fantastic. So I am going to hand over to Thomas and ask him to open the session.
Well, thank you. I do so, and hello again for this week for the last time, and a very warm welcome to Miklos, who is joining in for the first time this week. I will talk about you, Miklos, a little later, more in detail, and it's good to see you here in your crowd, what was for long years your crowd, and I'm happy that we can go over to you and cheer you when a little later. So it's time to wrap up the conference a little bit. It's Friday. Usually we do this on Saturdays, but some of us already started on Monday. So it's a long week. Quite some hours, 30 and more hours on virtual conferences. I heard for some businesses this is a normal week. For at least for me, it was very unusual. It's not what I'm living for, but I say it again, it was nice to see you around, that you could join in, that we could make this possible. And I said it several times, but it was a great job from the executive office headed by our director, my Henry Griffiths, that they facilitated all these sessions, meetings, and made this worthwhile to spend so much time on the screen this week. We had, besides a lot of colleagues who put in their work into the tech subcommittees, the breeding programs, and we had a lot of speakers also from the outside, headed by Virginius Sinkevicius, the EU commissioner, and the well-known John Paul Rodriguez, who went in. Then we saw Chris Walter from the Wildlife Conservation Society, whom I know since he was veterinarian in Hellbrunn Tiergarten in Salzburg, Austria. We had Maurice Lahaye from the Nijmegen University. We had Heather Bacon from Edinburgh University, Markus Klaus from Zurich University, Gert Janssens from the Ghent University, Michael O'Brien, and we had Kok van Oosterhout from the University of East England. And how I said, a lot of colleagues who donated their time and their knowledge and shared their views with us, and also even from the council, with Simon Tang, Brice Lefaux, Jörg Junold, and Volker Holmes, who gave us their inside views. Thanks a lot to all of them. You make this, you made this conference. You gave them a shape, you gave them weight, you gave them input. Thank you to all of these colleagues a lot. I also have to thank the sponsors of the different sessions, which were our corporate members: Karl Stahl, Granovit, Kiesebrink, Aquasander, Brogarden, and Zoological Advisors. So you may have them in your on when you need something, you know where to go. But this is not. Am I supposed to say things like that? Yes, I think so. So, well, the main thing, there are two things, and the most important right now is to cherish our receiver of the award, Professor Dr. Miklos Kazanyi. This time, 6 years ago, EAZA conference delegates were enjoying the autumn sunshine with a view over the beautiful city of Budapest, a view that included both our host institution, and also the extraordinary Hungarian Parliament building and the surrounding ministries. I think it may well be the first for EAZA to be honoring someone who has worked in both, and certainly at such a high level. Miklos Perzányi is well known to all of us as a director of Budapest Zoo for nearly 30 years, as a former chair of our association, chair of the Technical Assistance Committee, and the Hungarian representative on council for many years. His tenure as director has covered a momentous era in Hungary, the region, and indeed Europe as a whole, from a time of a transition away from a one-party state to a period of democracy. From a time where the conversation on the environment was mostly about saving the rainforest to a time when we understand the much larger scale of our bad effect on the planet. And from a time of European reconstruction to one of a wider EU integration. During all of this time, Miklos has worked to develop the zoo into the world-class institution we know today. In part, due to his close involvement with EAZA, Budapest is a zoo that plays a strong role in our association and its programs and activities, and is a role model for zoos across the region as they have developed their facilities and worked to reach EAZA exacting standards. Miklos has long understood that the environment is a key political issue as well. He has worked in various government agencies to influence the government approach to nature, and for years his excellence in his regard was reflected in his appointment as Minister of Environment and Water in Hungary. He always been a strong voice for his beliefs, and I have no doubt that Hungary's commitment to improving environmental outcomes has been driven to an extent by his tenacity and general desire of legislators for some peace and quiet. Obviously, it is hard to summarize such a career, such a figure, and in such a short introduction. I would like to express the respect and affection of the wider EAZA community for Miklos, and to announce that in addition to his Lifetime Achievement Award, we will present today, the executive committee has decided to make him an honorary member of EAZA, an award that has been granted to 4 other people since our inception in 1992, all of whom, like Miklos, have been chairs of the association. And finally, before I hand over to the colleagues from Budapest Zoo, on behalf of the whole EAZA association, I would like to wish Miklos a long and happy retirement, although I have no doubt that he will continue to champion the natural world long into the future. Miklos, my personal, but most important, the EAZA congratulations from this side.
This is absolutely when we miss being in the auditorium to hear all the claps there.
Well, I can see the hands and cannot hear all of the claps, but can imagine. It's really great.
Good. Just give me a little minute, Miklos, and I will set up the video from your colleagues. To double check that people can see a beautiful scene of water and birds here.
Yes, but please put your video in full screen.
Yeah, I will just do that now.
Yeah, and then remove your mouse from the top of the screen. Otherwise, we see the zoom bar. Perfect.
Dear Professor Perzányi, dear Miklos, on behalf of the Budapest Zoo staff, we would like to congratulate for the EAZA award which you receive right now. In 1994, when you became a director here, this zoo was an old zoo after the falling of the Iron Curtain. And we just believe now that we are a modern zoo which holds 77 ESB and EP species and also 25 listed buildings. During your directorship, you created a team which runs the zoo, which is the pride for Hungary and Budapest both. At the same time, You made us believe that everything is possible, and we do things which we never believed before. So all in all, on behalf of the team, I would like to congratulate again and very much hope that we will cooperate in the future for the sake of the zoo and the animals.
Excellent. So a beautiful message there. And now I think we can hand over to you, Miklos, to say some words.
Thank you, my family. And thank you very much all for granting the honorary membership of EAZA and also the Lifetime Achievement Award to me. It was a great challenge to open the DHL box with all of the certificate here on the honorary membership, and also to open up the box with the Lifetime Achievement Award gorilla statue made of bronze. And of course, I'm sure that this great recognition is rather deserved by all those who helped me in my work and in my life, primarily my colleagues in Budapest and elsewhere in Europe, my friends, and of course my family who are around in the background. I thank them all just as much for everything as I thank the leaders of EAZA, the Council, the EXCOM, for thinking about me. I'm very grateful and strive to stay worthy of the esteems. Over the last quarter century, Budapest Zoo hosted, as Thomas also mentioned, important international zoo meetings in almost every 3-4 years. So many of you could observe from time to time how our zoo has evolved from the old conditions, the rundown facilities, into a progressive zoo with quite a few pioneering projects. Over the past quarter century, I could also observe how EAZA has evolved a great deal. We know the facts. Looking back to the times when we were putting together the very first strategy in Saint-Aignan in France, around as the guests of Beauvais Zoo around the year 2000, my main concern as chairman was how to pull together an EAZA struggling under the pressure of a wide variety of diverging professional and national particular interests. 20 years later, the organization is strong. It has a clear strategy, precise criteria for membership, regular accreditation system with high requirements. It has efficient and capable bodies, committees, and an executive office to direct and manage all joint professional activities. EAZA is 28 years old, and it is in its full power, as a 28-year-old must be. For all of us who watched the great report on the fantastic array of important activities of our organization during the opening plenary on Tuesday, it must be obvious that EAZA is great. Dear friends, it gives me a great pleasure to see EAZA in such great condition as I retire from my day-to-day zoo management work. I'm very grateful for these honors to the leaders of EAZA, especially to our excellent chairman, Thomas Kauffels, and all the others among the leaders and members of our organization for their exceptional friendship and cooperation during my career. And now, with more time to read, think, and analyze, to teach at university, to share experience, I'm ready to continue supporting you in your efforts and hope to reciprocate and the experience and learning from the lovely, rewarding decades of working with you. Thank you for everything. Thank you all.
Thank you, Miklos. Lots of claps. Fantastic. Also, I just saw that we had a message in the chat that there was a group of your colleagues watching. So let me just see if I can find them. Zoltan, if you wanted to unmute yourself, then we could have some words from you as well if you wanted. Then that will bring you up to the big screen for everybody. I can't swap you. I can't make you the big screen unless you talk. So are you able to unmute yourself and say some words? Oh, I don't know whether he can. Yes.
Hi, my family, we are here together.
Yes, I see you all.
Yes, it's a Budapest Zoo staff on the board.
Fantastic. So lovely to see you all. Oh my goodness, although I see my face on a massive screen, which is kind of scary. Yay. That's fantastic. I'm so pleased you could all be there. Thank you so much. Were there any other, oh, we don't know whether he can hear me. Well, of course he can hear me on a massive screen behind him. Were there any other words you wanted to say before I hand back to Miklos? Got to come a long way to find the camera. Any final words, Zoltan?
Okay.
We're done. Thank you so much. Okay, so Miklos, if you have any final words that you would like to say, then that will help bring you back onto the main screen for me now.
Well, as you see, I'm very happy with the rewards, and of course I'm sitting quietly in my garden, but as I told you, any of you need any of the experience on what I accumulated during the many decades, I'm always ready to assist EAZA, any old good colleagues and friends, and of course new colleagues as well. And I will be hopefully available for the forthcoming period of time also for some specific EAZA activities in the accreditation system or assistance part, which I will be available whenever you request and need me. Thank you for all of these great honors, and I wish you really the best, and I hope EAZA has important times, not always as difficult as this epidemic era, which perhaps the most difficult period during the last quarter of a century, which I could observe. But in the forthcoming years, perhaps this situation will be easier. But to tell the truth, as I have time to read and see what is happening in the world and what is happening to the biosphere, we are not getting to have easy times in the future. So we perhaps have the most important merit of working together and create with ourselves and with all of our European colleagues under the aegis of EAZA as good cooperation as possible, because we are strong together and weak alone. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Fantastic. Okay, so Thomas, I think, oh, just actually, sorry, before I move on, I don't know whether you can see Miklos, but there's an awful lot of messages that have come through in the chat.
Oh, I can see.
So absolutely take some time to have a look at them. But also what we can do is we'll save them after the meeting and we'll send them through to you. So everybody that's been sharing your congratulations to Miklos, we'll make sure that he sees them after the meeting if he doesn't get to view all of them on the chat now. So.
Lovely. I will try to save the record of the meeting. If I have trouble how to do that, then I will perhaps advice from the office.
Fantastic. Okay. So then thank you very much, Miklos, and congratulations. We will hand back to Thomas now, who will have any other words to say before we do our handover to our next conference hosts. So Thomas.
So, dear colleagues, dear Miklos, I only can echo what you just said. It's one of the precious things in our working life is to know the colleagues in this community. And what I can only back this up what you just said. I'm very happy to be around and have this experience and all this friendship we can see, and how the colleagues work together. That is great, and it's great fun to see. And this is also the hope for the future. And how I said in the beginning, I hope this is a once in a lifetime experience that we have such a huge, large and great conference virtual. And I really hope that our next host, which will be Sanna Hellström from Helsinki Zoo, we can come and swap Helsinki with our members. And this is, and usually we hand over a flag, but we have to do this also virtually. So I'm looking forward to Helsinki, and I would like to ask Sanna to show us her video.
So yeah, so I have a message from Sanna. She just had a slight connection issues. She wishes she was on the stage to accept the flag, but is extremely pleased to share this video with you on her behalf.
Earth belongs to all of us, and protecting its biodiversity requires international collaboration. That's why we invite all members of the European Association of Zoos and Aquaria to join us in Korkeasaari Zoo in September 2021. So pack your bags and head north towards Finland. But what's in Finland? We have 4 seasons. In spring, nature awakes and blossoms. Summer is short, but the sun doesn't set, not even at night. Autumn colors take over in the fall, and during winter, the ground is covered with snow, usually at least. And the sun shines for a few hours only. But in return, the northern lights glow in beautiful colors in the night sky, if you're in the far north, which is 1,000 kilometers away. To fight off the sleepiness during the dark season, we drink coffee. A lot of coffee. More than in any other country. And of course, we go to the sauna to stay warm. Well, we also go to the sauna in the summer. Actually, we go to the sauna whenever we can. But you're coming here in September. You won't experience the nightless nights or the northern lights. Most likely it will be cloudy and rainy, but don't let it discourage you. Our capital is located at the shore of the Baltic Sea. It has its own eventful history, but it is modern nevertheless. Helsinki offers plenty of green spaces, as well as urban scenery. The public transport works efficiently, and most travel distances are anyways short, which supports the city's goal to be carbon neutral by 2035. The conference will be held in the Marina Congress Center, which is only a stone throw from the city center. The Helsinki Cathedral, one of the city's most well-known landmarks, is just nearby. The market square is an excellent starting point for exploring the surrounding islands, including Korkeasaari Zoo. As I said, everything is nearby in Helsinki. Around 500,000 visitors come to Korkeasaari every year, which corresponds to 10% of the Finnish population. Most of them visit during the summer, though we're open all year round. We have roughly 150 different animal species, most of which have been chosen because they can thrive in the Finnish climate. In addition to Finnish species, we have Amur tigers, Bactrian camels, European bison, markhors and snow leopards, just to name a few. Our tropical houses are heated throughout the year, of course, but otherwise our animals are given the choice to be outside if they wish. Our bears hibernate in winter though. When they wake up, it's not only a clear sign of the approaching spring, but also makes the headlines all across Finland and the world. We encourage our visitors to learn and participate. During the feeding sessions in the summer, we are able to reach out to almost half of our visitors. Our nature school teaches kids about biodiversity and encourages them to take action. We also lead by example and aim to reduce our carbon emissions to zero during the coming decade. One of our most famous events is the annual Night of the Cats, where we collect funds for the conservation of Amur leopards and tigers. Altogether, we donate to 10 different conservation programs around the world, and we also participate in reintroduction projects. For example, some of our European forest reindeers have been returned to their original habitats in southwestern Finland. In addition to our zoo, we also run a wildlife hospital. It is the largest care facility in Finland for wild animals that have been injured or orphaned. The wildlife hospital receives approximately 1,300 patients a year, and the goal is to release them back to the wild after the recovery. The Finnish name of our zoo is Korkeasaaren eläintarha, which literally translates as Zoological Park of the High Island, but we tend to say Korkeasaari Zoo. If this is still too much of a tongue twister, calling us Helsinki Zoo is also acceptable. The Finnish language in general might sound like a tricky one to pick up, but don't worry. Many of us speak Swedish or some other equally obscure language, and almost everyone speaks English. Sanna, please demonstrate.
Dear friends, since I came to Zoo World in 2014, I've heard so many of you say that you've never visited Finland. And that's why we wanted to host EAZA 2021 and warmly welcome you all to Helsinki, Finland and Korkeasaari Zoo. And I sincerely hope that we'll be able to meet in real life next year. Welcome to Helsinki.
Earth belongs to...
That was great. Thank you very much. And I heard at least Sanna can hear us, but she lost her voice. So let's clap her a little bit, and we are looking forward to meeting her and the zoo and her staff next year. Well,
Excellent. And I think that is it. A beautifully typically Finnish welcome video there, but final words from you, Thomas, and then we will have reached the end of our first ever virtual conference.
yes, I will do so, and it's very nice. And but I have to admit, I don't know what I should really say again, because I'm trying to talk since Tuesday on to my screen and seeing you there. But again, thanks to all colleagues who made this possible, that this is a virtual conference and all the topics hit. It is great to see, and all of them who helped to administer this association through this difficult times. Again, and I myself, I thought I got a little thought today. I'm halfway through my term now. It's another 1.5 years, but it went so fast that the next 1.5 years will be also very fast. Thanks again to all colleagues. Thanks again to the team from EAZA to facilitate that. And I'm looking forward to see you all in person as soon as possible. Dear colleagues, have all the best to your zoos. Stay strong, and we got the chance to get through this. I think be optimistic as much as you can, even in the darkest times. So there will be a silver shining, how you say, in somewhere, and I hope it will be also a little bit golden. Thank you very much for your attention, and have a nice weekend.
Thank you, Thomas. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you for joining.